SADHGURU'S teachings.
15 centuries ago, was a Pallava prince. 9 years he waited. He lopped off his own left arm. From there comes the now famous one-handed Namaste. Even today that school is in existence. Around 15 centuries ago, was a Pallava prince. He became a monk. He is immersed in what he is doing. As per the wishes of his guru, who told him, go north and spread this, he went north. Went north enough to go into China. When he went there, the news spread that Buddha's disciple or somebody who is in that path, deeply immersed, is coming this way. So Emperor who had this aspiration all his life, who had built meditation halls, gardens, everything ready and translated all the Buddhist teachings into the local language, kept everything ready for a master to arrive. Now when he came, by then Emperor Hu is over 72 years of age. He came to the border of his kingdom to welcome Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma was not impressed. Of course he needed some rest and food, but he's not impressed with the grandeur of the welcome. But he received the welcome and sat down, and the moment they settled down, Emperor Hu said, can I ask you a question? Bodhidharma said, by all means, question. So he asked, I have built so many meditation halls, I have prepared so many gardens and so many translations, everything I have done to spread Buddha's message in this part of the world. Will I get Nibbana? Nibbana means nirvana or mukti or enlightenment. Bodhidharma looked at him, stared at him with his great big eyes and said, what? You? Nibbana? You will burn in the lowest hell. Somebody just welcomed you, gave you everything, gave you food. Now he says this, he says, there's no chance for you. Because the very fact, as you're doing all these things, you're keeping accounts of how many things you have done in your life, you're not getting anywhere, and he walked away. People tried to hold him in many places, he just went away. And he went near a Shaolin temple, but he did not walk into the temple. He went and sat in a cave close by. So, when Bodhidharma went and settled in the cave, General Shen followed, wants to be his disciple because he has heard that Bodhidharma is a cutlery expert, a master of cutlery. But Bodhidharma doesn't say a word. 9 years he waited. Then Bodhidharma came out and entered the temple. General Shen followed, begging him, please take me as your disciple. Bodhidharma said, that will only happen when the snow turns red. So General Shen, in a fit of courage and sacrifice, he lopped off his own left arm and swung the arm around, and all the snow around was covered in his blood and froze in the snow. Bodhidharma looked at this and he could not push him away anymore. He took him as his disciple. General Shen trained in Kalari, became a master in his own way. From there comes the now famous one-handed Namaste. Even today, they're doing it. This came from General Shen, who had only one arm. He did his Namaste like this. Kalari is considered as the mother of all martial arts. Agastya Muni created this Kalari as an art form so that the yogis and the sadhakas could defend themselves against wild animals. It is from here martial arts went to China when Bodhidharma travelled and set up this first Shaolin school. Even today that school is in existence and still doing well. They've done various modifications, but the fundamentals are from the Kalari. This is not essentially a combat process as other martial arts have become. This is essentially a discipline, a kind of an exuberant version of the yogic practices, using the body in many different ways, which will also deepen one's understanding of one's own physical and psychological makeup and also the energetic system.
Pranam Sadhguru, my name is Kapil Dev Behel. Okay. In our quest for a better life, growth and quality of life, human beings are depleting natural resources. We hear of younger generation blaming this generation for dwindling the planet of ecology, environment. Do you believe that human beings are heading towards water wars and disaster before we come out from the brink, or do you have faith in human ingenuity?
This is… See, we must understand this. We are talking about all kinds of things. Right now, they're negotiating hard in Paris, where India and other countries, which are called as the basic countries, which essentially, this is an idea that we've been talking about for the last 20 years. I've been speaking about this at various forums, saying that let's talk per capita division of consumption and carbon footprint. If we do that, in India we hardly have a footprint because most people are living in shacks, they're not consuming really anything, they're not leaving a carbon footprint. If the man disappears tomorrow, he's not left a footprint, all right? But they want a different kind of thing. This is a deal which has to be hard negotiated, that's happened. Leaving this aside, what you're trying to ultimately do is to curtail human aspiration. You will not succeed, believe me. There are people I know in California homes, earlier they were driving Prius, now they're all into Tesla, but in their garage they got 2 Ferraris. Or they got a big SUV, okay? This is when they go to the office, when they go to social gatherings, they want to be seen in an electric car. When they go out with the family, they want to ram a 6-cylinder car, all right? So I'm saying you cannot curtail human aspirations. The best thing is to curtail human populations. At the beginning of 20th century, we were 1.6 billion people. Today, we are 7.2 billion people. In India, in 1947, we were 33 million people. Today, we are 1.2 or 1.25 billion people. So, 3 times, 4 times we've multiplied. We are nice, but we're too many. We need to understand this. There is only that much human life that the planet can sustain. And above all, because of technological prowess that we have today, we are consuming probably what 10,000 men would consume 1,000 years ago. One man, I'm saying. One human being is consuming what 10,000 human beings would consume 1,000 years ago. So when this is the case, the simplest thing is we must project or plan for a less population in the future. But right now, United Nations predicts that by 2050, we will be 9.6 billion people. By 2075, we'll be 12.1 billion people. I want you to just imagine your life on this planet. You and me may not be here, but if this projection becomes a reality, our children and their children do what you want, they cannot live well. But anyway, if we do not consciously control this, nature will do it to us in a cruel way. It's not that we will be allowed to simply spawn like this, something will happen, all right? Something will happen that we don't know how to handle, and cruel ways of things will happen. But the very pride of being human is, we can do what we want consciously. It is something we need to take up, every world leader has to take this up. The leadership on the planet, in this Paris meetings of going on talking about how much will you consume, how much will I consume, what do you have to do, why don't we say by 2050, we will be 4 billion, not 9.6 billion, why not? All you have to do is, that you should not reproduce. People are talking about the economic dividend of having a young population. Definitely it is true, right now we have to take advantage of that. But this was a few years ago in 2006, when we were at Davos, there were a whole lot of union ministers and others, they were all gloating, we are the youngest nation, we are the youngest nation. I asked a simple question, where are the old people? They said, no, we are the youngest, that is okay, but where are the old people? In India, people don't get old, they die soon. That is why we are the youngest nation, you better know that. We can take advantage of the situation now, but we can't gloat about it. It's not something that we created, it is something that's unfortunately happened to us. Because in 1947, the average life expectancy of an Indian was 28 years. Today it's come to 64, that's average. But I'm telling you, if you divide urban and rural, urban may be around 70, rural is around 50. 50 is not a time to die for a man.